Hi friends, Rachel here, your Director of Communication for the Episcopal Diocese of the Great Lakes. I'm here in St. John's, Saginaw, where our financial offices of the diocese are held and where I have been graciously welcomed by people here in this parish to record this update for you. I am back with another Becoming update, and so let's get into it. Remember, we have three kind of areas of becoming that we focus on in each of these videos: the diocese, a parish level, and then you personally. So number one, at the diocesan level. Now that we're in 2025, there are indeed some things that became right at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve. First of all, we are legally now the Episcopal Diocese of the Great Lakes. So whereas before I said, wait, if you have to send money to the diocese, don't make out your check to the Episcopal Diocese of the Great Lakes. Now I'm telling you, do make out your check to the Episcopal Diocese of the Great Lakes if you need to send money to the diocese. As always, if you have questions about accounting or benefits, reach out to Sarah Philo, our CFO, and she and her team will get back with you. Another thing that became early on in 2025 is that first weekend, all of our staff emails migrated into our new email accounts. So our staff members all have new email addresses that end with greatlakesepiscopal.org. If you don't know for sure what that address is yet, some of the front ends of those email addresses have changed. Don't worry, the email addresses you have been using to reach out to your canon or to our CFO Sarah or to Mark, any of us, those will still work. But just keep an eye out when you get an email from us and maybe save our new email addresses so that you have them for future use. Now, the big question at the diocesan level, a question that I heard everywhere I went in December and even so far in January, is when are we getting a bishop? And I get that. It feels like a long time and it feels like a hard time to not have a leader at the helm. And so you may recall from the last standing committee update that the standing committee shared that they are still working on looking into perhaps calling an assisting bishop who can come in and help steer the ship during this time of becoming while we are in the process of calling our first diocesan bishop. They're also looking creatively at other ways that we might have that kind of leadership. So stay tuned for that. Now, I know there's still a lot of anxiety about having a bishop and what that will look like. And so that leads us into level 2, the parish level. If you were at convention, then you heard from our excellent Ministry of the Episcopate team about the work that they've been doing to understand what it means to be an Episcopal church. That word Episcopal meaning bishop. What does it mean that we are a church with bishops as leaders? And so they have done a lot of work, and one of the things that they've put together for you is an annotated bibliography of resources about the episcopacy. Now, this is important because it can help you understand where we've come from in our faith tradition and the different kinds of roles that bishops have held over the years, and maybe even how that role is changing as we enter this changing world and these new and unexpected and exciting times. So one thing that they would like to encourage you to do at the parish level is to pick a book from that annotated bibliography, which I'll link in the description to this video. Pick one book in your parish and gather a group of people together for a book study. Take some time and really understand what everyone's experiences with bishops have been like, or their hopes or expectations for bishops. That way that we know more of who we want to call and who maybe wouldn't be a good fit for our new diocese. They're going to take your feedback if you want to let them know what your book group is doing or what you've talked about or questions that have come up. Talk to your convention delegates. They got a bookmark at convention with all of the email addresses for everyone in that working group on it. Reach out to anybody on that team, and they will take your feedback into consideration and they will work to answer your questions. Now, the individual level. This also has to do with calling our first diocesan bishop. And this is me asking you for help. So with the blessing of the Diocesan Council and the Standing Committee, I am working to form a working group that will work on creating our new vision and mission statements for the diocese. Now, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to strategic planning, and so you need to understand that when I say vision and mission statements, I'm not just looking for something to slap up on a website or to put on a t-shirt, although I may do that too. For me, vision and mission statements function as decision filters, and the Diocesan Council and Standing Committee agreed. So how does that work? A vision statement has to do with being. How do we want to be in the world? What is our vision for what the world around us would be? What is that vision that God has cast for what life in our area of Michigan could be like? That's a being statement. The mission statement is a doing statement. There are a lot of things that we can do in service of any one vision statement, but sometimes that's overwhelming. I can tell you as a diocesan staff person, it is overwhelming sometimes. All of the good things that we can do, we can't do all of it. And so what uniquely is God calling us as a diocese to do to help make that vision a reality? If that sounds exciting for you, if helping to understand who we are and who God's calling us to be feels like life-giving work to you, please let me know. I'm welcoming anybody who would like to be part of this work to reach out to me, either in the comments, through a direct message on any of our social channels, or by emailing me at rachel@greatlakesepiscopal.org to let me know that you're interested in it. It takes all of us to define and to listen to where God is calling us, who God is calling us to be, and what God is calling us to do. And you could be part of that. Help us understand who we are as a diocese so that we can better understand who we need to call with God as our first Bishop Diocesan to help us do and be what we envision. Okay, so that's your first Becoming update for 2025. Stay tuned for more updates soon. And as always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us through our social channels or by emailing me directly. Again, that email address is rachel@greatlakesepiscopal.org. Take care, friends.